Katrina Rothenberger, Public Health Division Director for Marion County Health and Human Services. As of this morning, we have 2,763 total cases of COVID-19, which includes 2,654 positive tests. There have been 30,632 negative tests and 68 deaths. For the week of July 27 through August 2nd, there were 250 new cases and a positivity rate of 8.4%. We began tracking the weekly positivity rate to align with some of the other new metrics coming out from the state. We've been hovering between 8.2 and 8.4%. We did have a high last week of 9%. The number of new cases, however, has declined over the past 3 weeks. So 2 weeks ago, we were at 267. Last week, 256. This week, 250. So that number is coming down slightly. Marion County was put on the governor's watch list for the number of sporadic cases within a 2-week period. Counties remain on the watch list for a minimum of 3 weeks, and the metric for the sporadic count is 50 per 100,000, which in Marion County would be about 175 cases over a 2-week period that cannot be traced to a link. I did ask our epidemiologist to take a deeper dive into some of our epi-links that are outside of the outbreaks or household contacts or clusters or work sites. And in the previous 2 weeks, we found that some of the epi-links that exist were around family reunions, a bachelorette party, funeral, family potluck, birthday party, and baptism. So social gatherings are still a risk, and we just really want to encourage everyone to make sure that they take those safety precautions when gathering with friends and family, including wearing a face covering, staying outdoors if possible, staying home if you're sick, washing hands, and limiting the duration of these events as well. So, and then we've also been working closely with Salem-Keizer School District on their operational blueprints for reopening. We've been meeting weekly for the past several weeks and developing a good partnership there and reviewing their operational blueprints, their pandemic flu plan or their pandemic plans, and other outbreak plans as well. So we're still continuing to meet despite the metrics that we're not currently meeting for the in-person instruction to resume in schools.
Thank you, Katrina. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Katrina, I had a question from somebody who is in a private school. Is there anything they can do? They said they had their plans all ready to go, and then this came out. And just curious, is there anything private schools can do differently to potentially have their instruction? Or are they lumped in with public schools?
Yes, as far as I understand, private schools are included in the same metrics as public schools for counties statewide.
Are churches allowed to meet still?
Yes.
Yes.
And what's the number of people that can?
My understanding is that it's
50?
100.
100? So if the school was a church service, they may be able to do it?
Well, I think this is an area where, and something that we've talked about a lot when it comes to businesses, is we've advocated to have the same rules for gatherings no matter where they are. The governor, that's not been the way that they've written their rules, but that's something that we should continue to advocate for, because I do think it's confusing to have different gathering sizes for different types of activities.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate the stats that you and Ryan presented to us yesterday. There's some really eye-opening things there. I know we're not going to get into a deep dive of it here, but it was very interesting, the fact that a very, very small percentage of the cases are in these businesses that potentially could be closed down, and a lot of it is happening as a result of social gatherings. And and I think, Commissioner, you made the point, even if you took the ones we can't trace and use those same percentages back and assume that's where they're coming from, still the shutting down a nail salon or a restaurant or something like that is a very small percentage of the cases that we're seeing. Shutting down Detroit Lake, where there's 13 boats tied together, or the pictures we saw yesterday of the little North Fork Park where people are just out and about. Now that might make a difference, but
On congregate settings too.
yeah.
Katrina, I know we had a conversation about data yesterday. We had this call on Friday, and I'm sorry to do this board session, but is there any chance that we can get an update before Friday? That date? Is that possible?
We will do our best.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for looking into it.
Yes, of course.